escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles and I go by that name across all my social media platforms. So do kindly check out my Instagram, my TikTok, as well as my Facebook. And if you can drop a follow or a subscription, I would very much appreciate that. On this channel, I post fragrance related content. And if you like that style of content also, please make sure to subscribe before you leave. To those who are returning, thank you so much for the continuous support. We have Father's Day around the corner, so I thought to group 10 fragrances within my collection that I thought to recommend for those who'd like to purchase some fragrances for gifting for Father's Day, right? The very first fragrance that I have here with me to recommend is going to be this simple fragrance from Lattafa. This fragrance is underrated, guys. It's a nice, spicy, woody fragrance with the cinnamon kick and a woody tone to it, but it's got this sweet roundedness to it, and it's quite easy on the nose. It is one fragrance that is great for gifting across the board. It doesn't matter the age when it comes to this one. This one's called Hayaati, guys. One of their last year releases, or possibly the year before, but I purchased mine late last year. So this is a fragrance that is rarely spoken about online, and I thought I should just bring it to the limelight for those who'd like to purchase a fragrance that's easy for any man to like. This is definitely a crowd pleaser. It also has a decent lasting power, so it's not going to disappoint. Comes in a pouch, not in a box, unfortunately. If that is going to help you make your decision, I just thought to mention that it actually comes in a little sack. It doesn't come in a box, but it's very simplistic and would appeal across the board for any man who loves to smell good, because it is a quintessential masculine scent. So it's the first one on the lineup, guys. Hayaati from the house of Lattafa. Second on the lineup, guys, is going to be Shaghaf Oud Tonka. Now, there isn't any oud in this that I smell. What I smell, in fact, is an almondy tone there, and the Tonka, and a sweetness, a rubbery sweetness, if you will. This is a fragrance that I thought to drop here for somebody who'd like to gift a fragrance to the kind of person or man, a significant other, a friend, a man, or that sort of guy who likes their fragrances to be on the sweet side without necessarily screaming masculine per se. This is not feminine, it's not masculine, it's right there in between. It's just a safe scent that's going to wrap the wearer around in a nutty almondy tone there, some spices as well, and a sweet wrap up without it aligning with any gender. So I thought it's a very nice easy reach, especially if you have somebody in mind who maybe likes their fragrances to be on the safe side. You know, some men do not necessarily like their fragrances piercing spicy or piercing woody or outright, you know, masculine. This is just a safe juice to gift somebody who either has a huge collection and you'd like them to try something that is tonka based and subtle there with a sweetness, or somebody who just loves something that is different or something that is not screaming any particular note. That's what you get from here. You're not going to get a floral that's screaming. You're not going to get a fruit that's screaming. Everything is in check, but presenting itself as a nice juice with like a latexy tone to it. So second on the lineup, guys, as a recommendation for Father's Day's gifting, is going to be Shaghaf Oud Tonka from the house of Swiss Arabian. The next one, guys, is from the niche Emarati collection of Lattafa. Now, the niche Emarati collection, we have established by now that this is for like a collector's edition. Now, if you know of a man who is crazy about that Gris Chanel DNA, then this antique is going to be the perfect fragrance for them. I like the fact that this just screams masculine in terms of how rusty it looks and how it lives up to the theme of the name antique. This bottle hasn't been, you know, like bumped about or anything like that. It actually comes presented as rusty. So I thought it's a perfect presentation or gift to give somebody who either has a huge collection or loves that Gris Chanel vibe in a fragrance, or just a person, a collector who you would love to surprise, you know, with it. This is perfect to give to somebody who is probably older, maybe because of the appearance of it, unless the man that you have in mind is a collector, then it wouldn't appear odd. Now, as for the actual scent profile, guys, as I said, it is in the same vein as the Gris Chanel, and if you're wondering what Gris Chanel smells like, it's a cardamom toned scent, smooth, warm, soft, well-rounded there, gentle to an extent, gentle to the nose, with one of the best sandalwoods gift, in it. So it doesn't turn woody or anything like that. It actually is a smooth wrap up of a fragrance. This both genders can wear, but I tend to always put it at 70% masculine. I also have another suggestion, guys. If you cannot maybe afford this particular one, Lattafa have got another version of the Gris Chanel clone, which is called Liam Grey. So both these fragrances, Liam Grey and this one, are going to vibe the same, except the fact that this one is a collector's edition and it has a higher concentration in the oil. So if you're looking for value for money, this is going to be it. If you're looking to purchase that Gris Chanel inspiration to gift it to somebody younger, maybe you may want to purchase the Liam Grey, because that one comes in a bottle that is more relatable. However, if the gentleman in mind is somebody maybe older, this might be the ideal one to purchase for them, guys. So it's Niche Emarati Antique, and it's my third recommendation on this lineup. And then we have from Wataniah, guys, this very affordable fragrance. I always talk about this one, here and there. And this is a Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille clone. Now, if you are accustomed to the tobacco vanille juice, you will know that it does align with the masculine themed type of fragrances, although women can wear this sort of fragrance. It's spicy, it's woody, has a somewhat of even a Coca-Cola kind of thickened Coca-Cola type of feel in it. Some will call it cough syrupy, but it's coming from the star anise. It's coming from the spices and the star anise there. This to me screams masculine. It's a man's man, the man that's going to throw their weight around. I featured it even in Ajua's video, because we did another Father's Day recommendation, and this one just was the one that popped in mind there. I said, this is for the father that is, the hard worker, the one who's in the workshop, the one who's, repairing a car, the one who's repairing fridges, those sort of things, but want to smell good at the same time. And an alpha man is who I see wearing this fragrance. It's woods, it's spices, it's not necessarily cologne, but woods and spices and rich with a lot of depth. So this is the sort of fragrance you can gift somebody along them lines. Even a biker would carry this fragrance quite well. So by biker, I mean, the tattooed type of person would carry this fragrance well. And we'll find clones of this particular tobacco vanille from other houses like Maison Alhambra and Fragrance Vault. So there are options on the market if you cannot get your hands on this specific one. But I found the Wataniah one doing the most. So that is why it was easier for me to actually decide to buy the Wataniah one as opposed to maybe picking up, say, the Pandora one. So this is a recommendation, guys, for gifting on Father's Day. Another fragrance that I thought to drop here, simply because of its complexity in as much as it's somewhat aquatic, is this one, guys, Zanzibar, right? It's a fragrance that somebody will definitely like. If you know somebody who likes tropical fragrances with that marine note, a salt note, fragrances that have a photorealistic representation of a body of water, then this is going to be perfect. Zanzibar from the house of Lattafa, guys, is a 2024 release, a fragrance that's safe enough to gift somebody who's in the tropics, somebody who maybe even works around water, or somebody who loves those type of fragrances themed that way. It has coconut water in it, and it has, of course, those salty notes and stuff. I just like how complex it is. It's not your quintessential freshie, as in say for instance this one, that I often refer to as a gym scent, this Just White, right? This is Just White. It will give you fresh, it will give you bergamot and that sort of thing. This is definitely one I would class as under the fresh fragrances, but it doesn't vibe like that. So the uniqueness in this fragrance is the reason why I thought maybe some of you guys may consider buying this one for an individual that you can think of that likes their fragrances on the ozonic, marini, style or tone. So it's Asad Zanzibar. The next one, guys, is one that you want to gift somebody that you feel is big on looks, but at the same time has a very complex nose, or is one that's open-minded when it comes to fragrances, right? This is the Amir Club de Nuit Oud, a fragrance that I sniffed and left and sniffed and left, and I didn't think much of until one day I thought to go back for it, and it turned out that this is a fragrance that is one of those I call acquired, right? I think think this is a perfect gift just based on, how it looks. Just look at the packaging. Amir did not cut corners here. So you can imagine gifting this to somebody. It's obviously going to scream to the effect that it is a gift. Just first impressions there. It is boxed in this box, and you open the box like that, after which you're going to find this paper that is dividing, what's happening in there. And then there's a little booklet there with the history of what this fragrance took to create. And then, of course, the traditional Amir paper, this little booklet that then talks about the other releases in the house. And then you have a little duster paper there. So this is great for gifting, guys. And besides it being great for gifting, it is actually a gorgeous smelling scent. And then how you actually get to the scent, after this beautiful marble effect box, this is actually very nice and well done there. It's not made of wood. It actually feels like it's marble. You then open, like this to get to the actual fragrance. And the actual fragrance has got it has got that reflective glass on it there, where it actually looks like a mirror, which explains why Amir thought to put the duster, that duster cloth in there to make sure that any user will be cleaning it up. And then, of course, it has a mirror there. And as if that's not enough, it sits in a beautiful velvety shelf right there. And then on top of that, there is a plastic wrapping to make sure that it's not just directly sitting on a velvet cloth, possibly to make sure that as you take it out, it doesn't have, those that lint and all that. So this is Club de Nuit Oud, and it is a fragrance that's been going around as smelling very much similar to Kirke/Ebapura. But after I gave it a good test run, I realized, guys, that this seems to be Amir's rendition, their own twist. This is going to be a fragrance that you are to purchase for somebody who loves fragrances that are unique, fragrances that are not crowd pleasing, because this is different. There is passion fruit that builds this fragrance together with other fruits, but that passion fruit is immediately, fused with a leather, woody tones, spices and all that to make a beautiful complex scent. So this is not going to be a scent that 10-20 other people are likely going to be smelling like on the same day. You may actually go to the mall and come back and not even find somebody who smells like this. So I thought this would be a quintessential gift to gift that man who cleans up real nice, that CEO, that suit and tie gentleman, that man, who is polished, that man who loves to smell good, and that man who's accustomed to a lot of fragrances, because it may come off as pretty strange. There's also an underlying smokiness to this fragrance, but it's not a smokiness that takes over. There's also an oud, but it's not the traditional Middle Eastern style oud. So it's just a fragrance, guys, that will take somebody's memory on a journey, or somebody's senses on a beautiful olfactory journey. So I thought to add it here, guys, because nothing beats this one when it comes to presentation and the juice. So with Club de Nuit Oud, it's not just about the look, it's also about the juice. Beautifully refined fragrance, perfect Father's Day's gift is right here. And no, this is not sponsored. This is me just, picking up some suggestions of the fragrances you could gift your significant other, your brother, your friend, even a grandfather. These fragrances are going to cater for any one of those. The next one that I thought to throw here, going to appeal to those who love the freshies, right? Fresh, but with depth. This is fresh with a lasting power, because with fresh fragrance, most of them border on being very light. This is the sort of fragrance that on 5, 7, 10 sprays, it will last the whole day, built around the citruses, of course, and all the nice notes that make up a beautiful summer scent is what you're going to get from Amir. This is from Lattafa, another one that comes in a dramatic presentation there. So if you are looking at gifting somebody who is so big on looks, there are some men who really clean up nice and who like to coordinate their clothing. They like, the finer details in life. This could be one fragrance that's going to do it for you and for them, to present as a gift. It comes in a box that looks like a Tiziana Terenzi box, and the box lights up. It's just that I don't have the box with me right now, but the box actually has lights. Okay, so this is a gorgeous fragrance. But to top it off, it is also crowd pleasing in a way, because of that familiarity that the person is going to identify there in the citruses, in the fresh tone. So it is another one I thought to drop here as a suggestion for Father's Day. And next up is Double Black from the house of Paris Corner, inspired, of course, by Killian's Back to Black. This I thought to drop here, guys, for the mature father, somebody who is maybe in their 40s, late 40s, 50s, any age that you would call mature, then this is going to be the ideal fragrance. It's not a crowd-pleasing fragrance. It's not even a safe blind buy, but I'm going to show you where mine is at. It is an acquired style of fragrance that draws you in. It is a boozy cherry in this fragrance, very unique. Okay, what I get from this is like a smell of mildew, but that sort of smell in a perfumey way. So this is going to be one that's going to appeal to either a person who's got a lot of fragrances in their collection, the adventurous dad, the mature father, grandfather. That's sort of person is the person that's going to understand the style of this fragrance. Very unique, inspired by Back to Black by Killian, a fragrance which is quite pricey. So if you have somebody in mind, you can gift them this, but make sure that they're the person, or they're the sort of person who's open-minded, because this can come off as pretty strange. And I wouldn't recommend gifting this one maybe to a youngster, because they probably wouldn't be able to get what the whole fragrance is about. But I love it, guys, and it's got a great lasting power. So we're left with only 2, and then I'll call it a wrap. Remember, I said we only have 10. Now this one is also of the niche Emarati. I'm not trying to throw fragrances that are expensive here. I can always give you an alternative, right, to this. Okay, this is of their niche Emarati, and this is Alana, inspired by Hasavat Nishani. Now, if you know Nishani's Hasavat, you will know that nothing speaks spicy than that fragrance. It's all spices, guys. Aromatic, green, woody, that sort of thing. So that theme of a fragrance to me speaks masculine. In as much as women can wear this, I find that with women, it's actually, if it was, say, Mother's Day, I would have recommended Nasheed, because Nasheed has got a little bit of, that aromaticness is also drawing its inspiration from Nishani, but in this case, Ani. But it's more of a fragrance I would recommend, say, on Mother's Day. Now this, because of its greenness, is going to be a safe fragrance to purchase for a man. It's Alana of Lattafa's niche Emarati collection. However, if you like that style of fragrance, you like that tone, but you want to gift somebody maybe who's a bit young, this is one that I would say is an alternative. This has gone around as a Hasavat clone, but this is amped up on the pineapple and is a little bit sweeter, while this one is more on the green side. It does have that pineapple chord, but it doesn't make it about the pineapple. So it's just going to depend on who you're gifting. However, say you cannot afford this, I'll still recommend this. But this has got a little bit of that young at heart type of feel, while this is a bit on the serious side. So Alana is definitely here, guys, for that gentleman who loves their fragrances green, who loves their fragrances complex, who loves their fragrances aromatic and ultra masculine. It's the 9th one on the lineup. Now, last but not least, I had to throw in Lattafa. This is for, that gentleman who loves fruity toned fragrances, but just can't seem to find the perfect fragrance that's fruity, but that's going to stay masculine. Inspired by Liwa, by Waden. This is Relat, and this is a fragrance, guys, that's underrated. Very few people talk about this fragrance. I actually haven't seen a lot of reviews, if any, on this fragrance, but when I came across it, I was like, I've got to tell people about this. This is a perfect sweet scent that is masculine, with something that feels like berries and rose in there, but keeping to the masculine theme. It doesn't stray from being a masculine fragrance. Nobody is going to think that you as a man, or the man that you bought this fragrance for, is wearing a feminine fragrance. That is what I like about it. And it's a question that I often get from some of you subbies. They're saying, can you do fruity fragrances for men? Because they're not that, they are limited. You will get fruity fragrances, but some of them do tend to take that feminine direction. Now this is going to be your quintessential masculine fruity fragrance from the house of Lattafa, and I thought to drop it here as the 10th recommendation for Father's Day. This is not going to be age specific, so this you can gift anybody. However, if you are particular about wanting to know the age, I'm going to say 16 and above, but it's not young at heart. It's just that it is adaptable because of that fruity tone to it. So that's it, guys. That is the last one on the lineup. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know in the comment section if some of these recommendations were helpful. Let me know which one you gravitate towards, and if at all you do celebrate Father's Day and you have a fragrance in mind to purchase for somebody, even if it's not a fragrance that I have shown you here, I would just love to know your options out there. So drop them in the comment section where we can interact, guys, and talk more about fragrances. While you're at it, remember to turn on post notifications if they're not turned on. That way you get notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.